Hi, I'm Ben McAdams.
And I'm Spencer Cox.
And in case you don't know, I'm the Salt Lake County Mayor.
And in case you don't know, I'm Utah's Lieutenant Governor.
You are?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Well, you learn something new every day. Anyway, Spencer and I are good friends who spend time together doing and talking about all kinds of things.
MMA cage fighting, extreme base jumping, tandem bike riding.
And recently, we got to talking about women's leadership roles here in Utah.
Yeah, apparently Utah is far below the national average when it comes to the number of women in leadership roles in both business and politics.
So that got us thinking. Even though there are many great women's organizations here in Utah, there needs to be one that pulls them all together to elevate the stature of women's leadership.
Well, as it turns out, there is an organization that does exactly that. It's brand new, and it's called the Women's Leadership Institute.
And while Spencer and I would love to tell you all about it, here are some people who are much more qualified to do so.
Are you even pedaling, Ben?
Of course I am.
Well, it doesn't feel like it.
Well, I am.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Really sure?
Sure.
The Women's Leadership Institute was formed because there were visionary leaders within our community saw that there was a real need to elevate the stature of women's leadership.
We need more women to step up and lead in the state of Utah, whether that means leading in their homes or their churches or their communities or businesses or even in politics. We must have more women step up to lead.
I believe the Women's Leadership Institute is unique in that it is a place where the business community, other women's organizations, where men and women have come together to say to this community and say to the outside world, we can take women in this state to a higher place. It's about women and men standing up and saying, we want to do this together.
I had a lot of friends and family that love and care about me and my family and had expressed reservations about us relocating to Utah. And what I found here has been extraordinary, but there is a perception that still exists, not just within our own state, but outside. And I do feel strongly about changing that perception because I think it's an economic imperative for all of us and will help all of us as we reside in Utah to continue to lift the community, and we should have both women and men doing that together.
You know, I joined the board for the specific reason that, in my experience of many years in business and in our industry, I have experienced firsthand the value that has been created by the fact that we have a woman's perspective on our boards and on our management teams. It's not the fact that it's a woman versus a man, it's the fact that they create value by a perspective that is different, and that's what diversity brings to our organizations.
I think diverse voices of all kinds are essential in businesses and communities and in politics to make better decisions. So if you don't have diversity there, you're not the ideal company. You're not the ideal legislature. You've got to make diversity part of your team so you can get the best answers and you can get the best policies.
When you have women on corporate boards, it improves the profitability of those boards. For example, their ROE is 53% higher. Their profitability is 42% higher, and the return on investment is actually 66% higher. So you can't ignore the fact that having women on the corporate boards is actually working, and it makes companies more successful.
My company has benefited greatly from having women in leadership roles. In fact, women run 2 of our 4 largest businesses in our company, and they do an amazing job at it. And so I just wanted to be part of spreading the understanding that women add tremendous value in corporations.
I believe one of the greatest challenges is we don't realize how many great women are already here, doing wonderful things, contributing to our community. I think our biggest challenge is telling their story.
One of the problems that they have is the lack of confidence in their skills to step up. So even if they were given the chance, they would have that doubt in their head that are they even capable? They may have the resume, they may have the degrees, but if they've been serving in their own home, taking care of their kids and taking that time away from the business industry for a while, they may not have the confidence that they need to step back into the corporate world and attack it.
I think women need to reframe how they see themselves. Women in the past have been content to take a back seat or even a subordinate role to men. And I think it's time for women to step forward, to lead the change, and to recognize that what they bring is of value, and to put credence behind what they bring to a boardroom or to public office.
I often get asked, well, can we come and help teach your women how to lead? And I always respond, they're already leaders. And so we just need to change and shift the way we see women in the state as leaders.
Our young girls cannot be what they cannot see. And we need to have women that are at the top so that they can also want to be at the top and help share their skills and share their talents with other people. It's absolutely critical that we have women to model for our young girls.
So now that you know what the Women's Leadership Institute is, why it was created, and why women's leadership is a critical component to Utah's economy, you might be asking yourself what you can do to get involved.
Introducing the Women's Leadership Institute's Elevator Challenge.
It's the word elevate and then the word her. Elevate Her Challenge.
It's a clever play on words.
Right, and if you're like Ben and me, you never, ever, ever back down from a challenge.
Ever. Yeah. So here are 6 simple things that we can challenge you to do by taking part in the Elevate Her Challenge.
Number 1, increase the percentage of women in senior leadership positions.
When a leadership position opens up, consider filling it with a woman.
Number 2, increase the retention rate of women at all levels of the organization.
Is there something you could be doing within your organization to incentivize more women to stay?
Number 3, increase the number of women on the board of directors.
Research shows that more women in leadership positions improve a company's financial performance, it strengthens the organizational climate, it increases corporate social responsibility, it leverages talent, and it enhances innovation and collective intelligence. Bottom line, it enhances the bottom line.
And who doesn't like the sound of that? Number 4, monitor pay by gender and close identified gaps.
Currently, women earn just 77 cents for every dollar a man earns. Let's correct that.
Number 5, establish a leadership development and/or mentoring program for women.
Remember, mentoring isn't just good for the person being mentored, it's also rewarding for the mentor. I know I've gotten a lot out of mentoring Spencer.
Wait, I thought I was your mentor. Number 6, recruit women to run for public office and give follow-up support.
More women in politics means better public policy. Women tend to rely on others' encouragement before taking the political plunge. Wouldn't you love seeing your daughter shaping Utah's future, Spencer?
Absolutely. And the Elevate Her Challenge could give her that chance.
Obviously, there's really no limit to the number of things you can do to get involved in elevating the professional and political stature of women in Utah. But we hope you'll start by committing to take one or more of the Elevate Her challenges and encouraging others to do the same.
Hey Ben, isn't that Amy Gale, the famous pilot?
Yeah, you're right. Amy, where are we going?
Up.
Up? All right, that makes sense.
But you and Ben are gonna have to start pedaling.
Are you even pedaling back there?
Come on, Ben, start pedaling.
Come on, guys, pull your weight.